The sun woke up early in the small village of Isabella. It touched the rice fields first. The fields shined like gold. This was Inang Maring's world. Her bare feet knew how the warm earth felt. She understood the wind when it whispered through the rice plants. Maring was a woman who knew the land well. Her skin was a rich brown, from working under the sun for so long. Her hands were strong, used to hard work. She was not old, but her eyes looked like they knew many things. They had seen a lot of life. "This is my home, my life." Her small nipa hut stood near the edge of the big fields of green and gold. It was a simple home. The walls were made of bamboo woven together. The roof was nipa palm. Inside, it was cool and clean. This was where she rested. This was where her children's laughter bounced off the walls. Every morning, before the sun was too high, Maring was already moving. "I cook rice and maybe some dried fish. I get ready for a long day in the fields." Her life was all about planting, taking care of the plants, and then gathering them. It was hard work, but it was her life. She didn't own the land. She farmed land that wasn't hers, just like her parents before her. But she took care of it like it was part of her family. The rice wasn't just plants to sell. It was food for her family. It was the future for her children. She moved smoothly and quietly, her body strong from years of work. Sometimes I sing softly to myself. Old songs, songs about the land, songs about hope. She was strong like bamboo. It bends with the wind, but it doesn't break. Life was simple. It was not easy. There were days when her back hurt and her arms and legs were tired. There were worries about the weather, about how much rice they would gather. But there was also beauty. The beauty of a sunrise over the fields, the friendship with other farmers, the quiet and calm of the early morning. Inang Maring found her strength in these simple things. She found her reason for living in the changing seasons. She loved this land very much, and her love was as deep as the roots of the oldest mango tree. Maring was young when she first fell in love. His name was Lakai. He was a farmer too, strong and kind. His laugh was happy and clear. They got married while their families watched, under the bright Philippine sun. Their small nipa hut was filled with dreams. They dreamed of a good life. They dreamed of having many children. They worked side by side in the fields. Their love was like a young plant, growing strong because they hoped for the same things. Life seemed like it would be very good. Soon our home was blessed with children. First came Johnny, a strong boy with his father's eyes. Then came Irene, a gentle girl with a sweet smile. Two more followed, Julfa, who was always curious, and little Julito, the baby of the family. 4 children, 4 wonderful children in our family. Lakai was a good father. He taught Johnny how to make bamboo toys. He sang Irene to sleep. Maring's heart was full. She watched her husband and her children, and she felt very happy and peaceful. This was the life she had always wanted. But life can be mean. It can change in a second. One day, a big storm hit their area. It wasn't just wind and rain. It was a terrible storm that changed everything. Lakai got sick. Maring's world fell apart. Her happy life became sad. The laughter in their home was replaced by a heavy quiet. Her dreams disappeared like they were washed away by the flood. Sadness felt like a heavy blanket. It felt like it would crush me. How could I go on? My Lakai was gone. My children were so young. They needed their father. She looked at their small, confused faces. She saw they were scared and sad. And in their eyes, she found a reason. A reason to stand up. A reason to fight the sadness. Her love for Lakai would not die. It would stay alive because she loved their children so much. She had to be strong for them. The days after Lakai died were painful and confusing, but Inang Maring knew she couldn't just stay sad. Her 4 children needed her for everything. She was their mother. She was now their father too. She dried her tears, or maybe she learned to cry only when they were asleep. She tried to be strong even though her heart was broken. She had to take care of them. She had to protect them. The work in the fields had to be done. Her children needed food. Her work in the fields became twice as much. She woke up even earlier, before the rooster made noise in the morning. She worked until the sun went down, and the sky turned beautiful colors. Her hands became rougher, her back ached more. But every little plant she put in the ground was like planting a little bit of hope. Every time she gathered rice, it was like winning a small fight against sadness. Neighbors offered help. That's the Bayanihan spirit, helping each other. But I knew deep down that I had to do most of the work. I accepted help and was thankful, but I depended on myself. Siblings tried to be like the grown-up man in the family. They knew and they understood, helping each other. They looked after and watched each other's back.
I will help you, Inang said the older, I promise.
Siblings, quiet and watchful, helped with chores around the nipa hut. The other siblings, still so young, made things feel a little happier with their innocent play. Maring taught them that working hard was important. She taught them to be kind to each other. She told them stories of their father, so they would remember him. She wanted them to know he was good, that he loved them. There were times when she felt very lonely. The nights were the hardest. The hut felt too big, too empty without Lakai. She would look at her sleeping children. Seeing them sleep peacefully made her feel brave. She was not truly alone. She had them. They were her reason. They were her strength. I would quietly promise myself in the dark, promises to see them grow, promises to give them a good life no matter how hard it was. She was very determined, like a small fire that kept burning inside her. 10 years passed. The sadness wasn't as painful anymore, though she still remembered it. Maring's children were growing. Oldest was becoming a young man. Second was a young woman, helping more and more. Life found a rhythm, a new way of being normal. Maring had thought she couldn't love anyone else. She was a mother, a widow. That was who she was. But sometimes life surprises you. A man named Mang Rohel came into her life. He was a kind man with a gentle smile and eyes that understood. Mang Rohel also worked the land. He admired Maring's strength, how she was strong and respectful in a quiet way. He saw the love she gave her children. He too knew how it felt to lose someone. He didn't try to replace Lakay. He offered friendship. He offered a helping hand. I wasn't sure at first. I still loved Lakay very much, but my children saw that Mang Rohel was a good man. They saw how he made me smile, a real smile, which I hadn't done much for a long time. They encouraged me. Slowly, carefully, Maring opened her heart again. She married Mang Jose. Her family grew. The kids now had a stepfather. And soon the family got even bigger. Maring and Mang Rohel were blessed with 2 more children. A boy, Romar, and then another boy, Romi. The nipa hut became more crowded. It became louder, but it was filled with a new kind of warmth. 6 children now looked to marry. Her family was a mix of old memories and new happy times.
I will treat all 6 children as my own. We will work hard together, Maring.
Mang Rohel was a good man. He treated all 6 children as his own. He worked hard with Maring. They shared the hard times and the happy times. The older children helped care for their younger half-brothers and sisters. The family was like a beautiful cloth made with different kinds of string, but strong and beautiful. Maring found a new kind of peace. The path had been difficult, but love grew in her life again. Her broken heart was now full, overflowing with love for her big, busy family. Life in Caliguian, Isabella had many simple traditions. These traditions were very important to Inang Maring's family. Mornings began with the smell of sinangag, that's garlic fried rice, and maybe some tuyo, dried fish. The family gathered around a low table, sharing food and stories.
Maring always made sure everyone had enough, even if it meant she ate less.
Before anyone left for the fields or for school, they would take her hand. They would press it to their foreheads. This was manupo, a way to show respect to older people. It was a small thing to do, but it meant a lot. The people in the community were very close. When it was time to plant or gather the rice, the spirit of Bayanahan was alive. Neighbors helped each other. They worked together in the fields, sharing food and laughter. No one was left to struggle alone. Maring often cooked extra food to share with those who helped. These were times of hard work, but also times of friendship and being together.
Sundays were for church. Maring, wearing her best simple dress, would lead her children to the small village chapel. Their belief in God helped them stay strong and gave them comfort and hope.
Evenings were special. After a long day, the family would gather on the bamboo floor of their hut. Mang Rohel might play a simple song on an old guitar. Maring would tell stories of folk heroes, stories from when she was a child. Sometimes, the older children would read aloud from books they borrowed, their voices filling the quiet night. These moments were precious. They cost nothing, but they were rich with connection. The flickering light of a gas lamp made warm shadows on their faces, creating memories. They learned good Filipino ways by watching, not by being told what to do. Respect for older people, how important family is, working hard, sharing what little they had, being welcoming to guests.
Maring and I lived these values every day. The children learned by watching, by experiencing. They learned to be strong, like bamboo that bends but doesn't break. They learned to find happiness in simple things, A ripe mango, a cool breeze, a shared joke.
Their lives were simple, but they were good in ways that money can't buy. This was the way of life that made them who they were. The Nipa hut, though simple, was full of the sounds of her growing family. 6 children meant 6 different personalities, 6 different kids making a lot of happy noise together.
The eldest was serious and responsible. He often helped take care of his younger brothers and sisters like a father.
Second and third girls, gentle and kind, was Maring's quiet helper. She made things feel calm and nice. Youngest, always wanting to know things, explored the world around him with wide eyes, always asking questions.
All of them, no longer the baby, was full of energy and liked to play.
Then came Romar, sturdy and adventurous, and little Romy, the new joy, whose giggles made everyone else want to giggle too. Maring watched them grow. She was proud but also worried a little, like all mothers. She taught them more than just chores and farming. She taught them about life. She taught them to be honest. She taught them to be kind and care about others. She would say, "Ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa pararunan." That means, he who does not know how to look back at where he came from will never reach his destination. These were not just words. They were important ideas to live by. They learned these lessons from life, with their mother teaching them with love. Playtime was simple but full of imagination. The children played patintero, a Filipino game, in the dusty yard. They flew kites made of paper and bamboo. They climbed mango trees and told secrets. They didn't have expensive toys. They made their own toys from things in nature and their imagination. A smooth stone could be a special jewel. A banana leaf could be a mighty sword. Their laughter sounded like beautiful music to Maring's ears. It showed how strong they were, their ability to find joy even in simple things. These moments of childish fun made Maring feel better when she was tired. Respect was a very important part of how they were raised. Respect for their parents, for older people, for each other. They learned to share, even when there wasn't much to go around. A single piece of fruit would be cut into 6 equal parts. They learned to support each other. If one child had a hard time, the others would help. Maring helped them feel close and united. She knew that being close as brothers and sisters would help them a lot in the future. The Nipa hut was more than a shelter. It was a home where love was taken care of and helped to grow, and they learned to be good and strong people. One lesson, one laugh at a time. Life has good times and bad times. There are times of sunshine and growth. There are also times of trouble and sadness. For Maring, it felt like bad things happened too often. Mang Rohel, her kind and dependable friend, got sick. It started slowly, a cough that wouldn't go away, and he felt very, very tired. Maring cared for him gently. She made traditional medicines from plants. She said special prayers for many days. The children watched. Their young faces showed they were worried. The laughter in the Nipa hut grew softer, replaced by quiet talking and worried looks. Even with all their efforts, even with all their prayers, Mang Jose's health got worse. The sickness was very bad, and even though they hoped, he didn't get better. One quiet evening, with Maring holding his hand, he passed away. The Nipa hut, which had known a new time of happiness, became sad again. Maring felt a hurt in her heart, she remembered, like an old wound opening again. Twice she had loved, twice she had lost. This sadness felt too heavy to carry. How much sadness can one person handle?
The children were sad in their own ways. First families remembered losing their first father. Now, they were sad about losing another.
Romar and Romy, still so young, found it hard to understand why their father was no longer there to play with them, to tell them stories. The family stayed close together, their sadness like a big dark cloud. Maring, even though she was in deep pain, knew she had to be strong for them again. She had to guide them through this new darkness. She would cry later, when she was alone. The community of Isabela came together to help them again. Neighbors brought food, so with relatives all over the province. They offered comforting words, they helped with the funeral. All the help they got was like a little light when everything felt dark. Maring was grateful, but she knew, like she had known before, that she had to lead her family through this hard time with her 6 children by her side. The path was once again hard and difficult, but Maring was a mother, and a mother's strength made strong by love and sadness is a very powerful thing. The days after Mang Rohel passed away were sad and quiet. Yet even though they were sad, something amazing began to show, how incredibly strong their family bond was.
Lito, now a young man, stepped up without being asked. He took on more work in the fields, and his young energy helped Maring a lot.
Girls to the first gentle nature became like a second mother to Romar and Romi. 8 or Manangs comforted them and took care of them, acting older and wiser than she was.
Even the other siblings, though still young, helped with chores at home. Their small hands wanted to help their mother.
Maring watched her children. Her heart hurt from sadness, but she also felt very proud. They were what she would leave behind. They showed the love she had shared with Lakai and with Rohel. She saw Lakai's strong will when she looked at Romar. She saw Rohel's kindness in the way Romi was gentle. In the evenings they would gather, not always with laughter, but they felt like they were working together for the same thing. They talked about their day, they made plans for the next. They were a team, connected by being family, by sadness, and by a very strong love that Maring had helped grow. They didn't say big words about being strong. It was in the small, everyday things they did.
It was in Lito sharing the little money he earned from extra work.
It was in siblings fixing clothes late into the night.
The family.
Siblings helping each other? These were the quiet ways they showed they were family, weaving them closer together, making them stronger. Maring knew that this closeness was the best thing she could give them. It was worth more than any land or things. Maring herself got strength from her children. Seeing them be brave made her brave too. Their hope started her own hope. She was tired, yes. She had been through a lot of sadness, but she didn't give up. She had 6 reasons to keep going, 6 bright lights guiding her way. She continued to work in the fields. Maybe she moved slower, but she was still very determined. She cooked for them, cared for them, loved them with all her heart. She was Inang Maring, the mother, the survivor, the strong, loving center of her family. Many years passed, like the seasons changing in the rice fields. The strong sadness became a softer feeling when she remembered. Inang Maring watched her children grow into adults.
First families have their own families.
Same with the second family. They were happy families full of love. Romar and Romi, the youngest, were now young adults, strong and able, and they had good futures ahead of them. Maring, her hair now with some gray in it, her face showing all the things she had been through in her life, felt a deep, peaceful, and happy feeling. It wasn't happiness that came from being rich or having an easy life. It was happiness that came from love. Her nipa hut, though old, was still filled with life. Her children often returned, bringing their own families. The sound of her grandchildren's laughter now filled the places where her own children once played. These family get-togethers made her the happiest. She would sit on her simple wooden stool, watching them, her heart so full of love. She found happiness in the simplest things. A shared meal of rice they had just picked and vegetables from their small garden. The stories her children told of their lives, a hug from a grandchild. The quiet evenings spent looking at the stars, remembering not sadness, and feeling thankful for the love they had shared. She had faced very big problems. She had known very deep sadness from losing loved ones, but she had also known very deep love. And love, she realized, was the strongest thing in the world. Her life showed how strong people can be, and how a mother's love is strong and lasts forever. She had taught her children about love, being brave and not giving up, and now she was seeing all the good things that came from how she raised them. Her children were good, kind, hardworking people. They cared for each other. They cared for her. What Inang Maring left behind wasn't written in books or made into a statue. It was in the hearts of her children. It was in how close her family was. And in that, she finally found real peace, her truest happiness.